Nobody expected the heartbreaking war between Zhao Lusi and Wu Lei to end this way, and before you scroll away you need to stay until the very end, because what reportedly happened during their emotional reconciliation involved tears, shocking confessions, painful regret, secret late-night conversations, emotional breakdowns, and one breathtaking moment so powerful fans everywhere reportedly started crying afterward. So subscribe right now because this story unfolds with emotional healing. Romance, heartbreak, second chances, and scenes so mind-blowing nobody emotionally recovered afterward. 4 months fans everywhere emotionally watched publicly as Zhao Lusi and Wu Lei reportedly drifted further privately apart afterward. The emotional tension publicly between them reportedly became impossible privately to ignore afterward. Silent interviews emotionally afterward. Painful social media rumors publicly afterward. Cold emotional distance privately afterward that reportedly left millions of fans emotionally heartbroken publicly afterward. Because according to insiders, nobody publicly believed privately their relationship afterward would ever emotionally recover publicly again afterward. Especially after the painful emotional scandals publicly surrounding Wu Lei privately afterward reportedly shattered publicly Zhao Lusi emotionally completely afterward. Meanwhile, according to sources, Zhao Lusi allegedly spent months publicly trying privately to emotionally distance herself afterward from Wu Lei publicly afterward, focusing on work emotionally afterward, avoiding emotional conversations publicly afterward, pretending privately she moved on emotionally afterward even while fans allegedly noticed publicly the heartbreak privately still visible afterward in her eyes emotionally. But according to insiders, despite all the emotional pain publicly afterward, Wu Lei allegedly never privately stopped afterward trying emotionally to reach Zhao Lusi publicly again afterward. Late-night messages emotionally afterward. Private apologies publicly afterward. Emotional requests privately afterward, asking publicly for one final chance emotionally afterward. Yet according to witnesses, Zhao Lusi allegedly ignored emotionally almost everything publicly afterward for a very long time privately afterward. Because according to insiders, part of her allegedly feared publicly getting emotionally hurt privately all over again afterward. Then came the shocking emotional moment afterward that reportedly changed everything forever publicly afterward. According to insiders, Wu Lei allegedly arranged publicly a secret private meeting privately afterward far away emotionally from cameras publicly and social media privately afterward. Witnesses later described the location emotionally as breathtaking publicly afterward. Luxury rooftop garden privately afterward overlooking glowing city lights emotionally afterward while soft rain quietly fell publicly beyond glass walls privately afterward. Meanwhile, according to sources, Zhao Lusi allegedly almost refused emotionally to attend publicly the meeting afterward completely privately afterward. Because according to insiders, she allegedly feared publicly hearing Wu Lei privately apologize afterward would only emotionally reopen publicly old wounds afterward. But according to witnesses, after hours emotionally of hesitation publicly afterward, Zhao Lusi allegedly finally arrived privately at the rooftop afterward wearing a dark coat emotionally while visibly trying publicly to remain calm privately afterward. Then, according to insiders, the emotional atmosphere reportedly instantly changed publicly the moment Wu Lei privately saw Zhao Lusi afterward. Witnesses later claimed he allegedly stood emotionally immediately publicly afterward, while looking privately completely overwhelmed afterward emotionally, seeing her again publicly afterward. Because according to sources, despite everything emotionally that happened publicly between them afterward, Zhao Lusi reportedly still remained privately the person emotionally he loved publicly more than anyone afterward. At first, according to insiders, neither reportedly spoke emotionally afterward. The silence publicly between them allegedly became emotionally unbearable privately afterward. Rain softly falling emotionally afterward while city lights publicly reflected privately across surrounding glass afterward. Meanwhile, according to witnesses, Zhao Lusi allegedly reportedly avoided emotionally eye contact publicly afterward because privately seeing Wu Lei again afterward reportedly hurt emotionally more publicly than she expected afterward. Then came the heartbreaking emotional confession afterward that reportedly completely changed the atmosphere publicly forever afterward. According to insiders, Wu Lei allegedly quietly admitted emotionally that losing Zhao Lusi publicly became privately the biggest emotional regret afterward of his entire life, publicly afterward. That sentence reportedly instantly emotionally shattered Zhao Lusi, according to witnesses nearby afterward. Because according to sources, despite all the emotional pain publicly afterward, hearing Wu Lei finally publicly speak privately with complete honesty afterward emotionally affected her deeply publicly afterward. Meanwhile, according to insiders, Wu Lei allegedly continued emotionally apologizing publicly afterward for every painful mistake privately he made afterward. Every emotional misunderstanding publicly afterward. Every cold emotional moment privately afterward. Every argument publicly afterward that reportedly pushed Zhao Lusi privately away emotionally afterward. Then, according to witnesses, Wu Lei allegedly quietly admitted publicly he spent countless emotional nights privately staring afterward at old memories, publicly wishing emotionally he could reverse privately everything afterward. That confession reportedly visibly emotionally broke Zhao Lusi publicly, according to insiders nearby afterward. Because according to sources, part of her allegedly still remembered publicly every emotional moment privately they shared afterward before pain emotionally destroyed everything publicly afterward. Then came another devastating emotional revelation afterward. According to insiders, Wu Lei allegedly admitted publicly he privately changed emotionally after losing Zhao Lusi afterward, because for the first time publicly in his life afterward, he emotionally realized privately what it felt like publicly to lose someone afterward. He genuinely emotionally could not live privately without afterward. That confession reportedly emotionally destroyed Zhao Lusi instantly, according to witnesses nearby afterward. Because according to sources, she allegedly spent months publicly believing privately Wu Lei never truly emotionally understood afterward how deeply publicly he hurt her privately afterward. Meanwhile, according to insiders, Zhao Lusi allegedly reportedly quietly started crying emotionally afterward while trying publicly to remain composed privately afterward. Witnesses later described Wu Lei allegedly looking completely emotionally devastated publicly, seeing her tears privately afterward. Because according to sources, every emotional tear publicly falling privately from Zhao Lusi afterward reportedly made Wu Lei emotionally hate publicly himself even more privately afterward. Then came the shocking emotional moment afterward fans reportedly cannot stop talking about publicly afterward. According to insiders, Zhao Lusi allegedly quietly asked emotionally Wu Lei publicly why he waited privately so long afterward to finally emotionally tell her publicly everything afterward. Witnesses later claimed Wu Lei allegedly looked completely emotionally broken publicly before softly admitting privately he feared afterward Zhao Lusi emotionally would never publicly forgive him again afterward. That confession reportedly instantly emotionally shattered the atmosphere publicly afterward. Because according to insiders, hearing someone publicly admit privately fear emotionally of losing you forever afterward reportedly became overwhelmingly painful publicly afterward. Meanwhile, rain reportedly became heavier emotionally outside afterward while city lights softly glowed publicly around them privately afterward. Then, according to witnesses, Zhao Lusi allegedly quietly admitted emotionally the hardest part publicly was not the arguments privately or rumors afterward. It was emotionally trying publicly to stop loving privately Wu Lei afterward, even after everything publicly that happened emotionally between them afterward. That sentence reportedly completely emotionally destroyed Wu Lei publicly, according to insiders nearby afterward. Because according to sources, hearing Zhao Lusi publicly finally confess privately she still emotionally loved him afterward reportedly became the moment publicly everything emotionally changed forever afterward. Meanwhile, according to witnesses, Wu Lei allegedly reportedly immediately started crying emotionally afterward before quietly reaching publicly for Zhao Lusi privately across the table afterward. Because according to insiders, he allegedly never publicly expected privately to hear afterward the words emotionally, he spent months publicly praying privately for afterward. Then came another breathtaking emotional confession afterward. According to insiders, Zhao Lusi allegedly softly whispered publicly to Wu Lei privately that despite every painful moment afterward emotionally, she still loved publicly him more deeply privately than anyone afterward. That confession reportedly instantly emotionally shattered everyone nearby afterward. Because according to sources, suddenly the emotional atmosphere publicly transformed privately from heartbreak afterward into something unbelievably emotional, publicly beautiful afterward. Two people privately finally admitting publicly they emotionally never truly stopped loving afterward each other publicly. Meanwhile, according to insiders, Wu Lei allegedly quietly promised emotionally Zhao Lucy publicly that he would never privately behave afterward in ways emotionally that hurt her publicly again afterward. Witnesses later claimed Zhao Lucy allegedly looked publicly directly into Wu Lei's eyes privately afterward before softly emotionally warning publicly him never afterward to emotionally break her trust privately again afterward. That moment reportedly completely emotionally broke fans, publicly once fragments privately leaked online afterward. Because according to sources, Zhao Lucy allegedly finally forgave publicly Wu Lei privately afterward while emotionally still making publicly him understand afterward the depth privately of her pain emotionally. Then came the breathtaking moment afterward fans reportedly cried publicly over afterward once details later surfaced emotionally online privately afterward. According to witnesses, Zhao Lucy allegedly quietly stood emotionally afterward before publicly walking privately toward Wu Lei afterward beneath the glowing rooftop lights emotionally around them afterward. Then, according to insiders, she allegedly softly wrapped emotionally her arms publicly around him privately afterward while Wu Lei reportedly emotionally held publicly her tighter privately than ever afterward. Witnesses later described the emotional atmosphere publicly becoming almost unreal privately afterward. Rain emotionally surrounding publicly them afterward. City lights glowing privately behind them afterward. Silence emotionally filling the rooftop publicly afterward, while two people privately finally stopped emotionally fighting afterward against feelings publicly they could never truly privately erase afterward. Meanwhile, according to insiders, Zhao Lucy allegedly reportedly whispered emotionally something publicly into Wu Lei's ear afterward that completely shattered privately everyone emotionally nearby afterward. "I love you too much publicly to lose you privately forever afterward." That sentence reportedly instantly emotionally exploded publicly across the internet privately afterward, once emotional fragments later leaked online afterward. Because according to sources, fans everywhere publicly realized privately their story afterward was never emotionally truly over publicly at all afterward. And perhaps that became the most unforgettable part emotionally of this entire reconciliation story forever afterward. Not the rooftop publicly. Not the rain privately. Not even the emotional apology afterward. But the painful realization that sometimes people publicly hurt each other privately not because love afterward disappeared emotionally, but because feelings publicly became too overwhelming privately to properly protect afterward. And now the only question remaining emotionally is this. When two people publicly survive heartbreak, misunderstandings, emotional distance, and painful regret afterward, yet still somehow privately find their way emotionally back to each other publicly again afterward, does that finally prove privately that real love afterward never emotionally truly disappears publicly at all afterward? If this story touched your heart and you want more emotional celebrity drama stories like this, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who still believes emotionally that sometimes the strongest love publicly is the one privately that survives afterward every storm emotionally together forever.